going on? We've got John Hannah. Welcome to the Mummy panel. You guys can do better than that. Come on, what are you doing? We're at the Mummy panel. We're going to talk about the Mummy for the next 45 minutes. So we've got John out here just a little bit early because he's got to catch a flight, so he's going to bounce in the middle of the panel. But we thought we would go ahead and come out and talk to him a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It's been fantastic being here, and you've really made a very special occasion in terms of telling us your stories and anecdotes about what the films mean to you, to your family, how most of you who are under 26 years old weren't even born then, but how your parents connected you to the film and it connects you to your parents. It's your go-to happy movie, and it really does mean so much. It's been very, very touching to hear those stories and to just feel the energy from you guys. So thank you!
Now, John, how long have you been in town?
I got in on Monday, which was unexpectedly wet and rainy. I was got all my shorts and everything for coming to Florida, and it bloody rained.
Did you get a chance to go to Universal Studios and ride the Mummy ride just for old time's sake?
No. I'm too old for roller coasters. Because of my back. Brendan Fraser is the most amazing creative person to work with. Those of you who maybe saw me at the desk, I might have mentioned this. And he's a big guy, as you know, and I know it. And he's very creative, and sometimes he just throws you around. Now, I'm not saying it's his fault that I've got a bad lower back. Might be a little bit to do with age, but it certainly doesn't help when somebody that size chucks you across a room and out of windows to avoid being eaten by mummies. So I don't think the roller coaster would necessarily be that good for me with a 10-hour flight coming up, so no, not this time.
Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up, I'm going to ask everybody this near the end of the panel, but since you're leaving early, I'd like to ask you. There's so many people here who are excited to meet you this weekend, get their pictures taken with you or get an autograph. I'd love to know, during your career, who's somebody that you've met that you felt starstruck by?
Well, do you know, one of the great things about doing the conventions as well, apart from meeting you guys, is that we get to kind of fanboy over people that we meet here as well. And I'm sure, many of your parents, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. And I mean the old one, the original. So I did meet William Shatner, which was kind of cool. And then on this weekend, it's just so great, it's like, I'm sitting back there and I'm like, hey, and I met Ron Perlman the other day. And he's awesome, and you pass each other, you're like, hey, Ron. Yeah, man, cool. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, that happens all the time. The Stranger Things cast were hanging out back there, the Lord of the Rings guys. It's like, I think we all have the same feelings that you do when we're back there and we see the stars that mean things to us as well, It's very, very similar for us. We're just working, so you meet Joe Pantaleone, or as I say, Ron Perlman, William Shatner, all sorts of people. It's pretty cool.
Now, we can't let you go without bringing this up, but Jonathan is one of the great comedic relief characters in action cinema of all time, I think. And I wanted to ask, do you remember who some of your inspirations were maybe when you were kind of trying to create him?
Oh, I know exactly who my character was based on. Given that it's that kind of classic old family adventure movies, I was looking at the adventure movies of the past, just the films that I was brought up on a wet Sunday before streaming and before VCRs even. It was like, what's on the TV on Sunday afternoon? It's raining, So people like Peter O'Toole and David Niven were very much the kind of base of my quiche, if you will. But the main kind of influence, I think, for Jonathan, and just keep this to yourself because it isn't that cool, was Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Really? Yeah, okay, that's amazing. Well, one thing I want to ask before maybe we can bring up the rest of the cast. Are we ready yet? Oh, never mind. Are you guys ready to see the rest of the Money cast? Please welcome to the stage, Brandon Fraser, Patricia Velásquez, and Oded Fehr! Hey, cross of the money! Yeah, come on, please. This is amazing.
Velásquez, Oded Fehr.
Who's that guy? Somebody.
John.
John, who's got to slip out in 5 minutes.
He's bouncing already? Was it something I said? What?
So your back is hurt, and you're not saying that it's Brendan.
No, it wasn't
But
Brendan.
you were saying that he kind of threw you around a little
He
bit.
throws everybody around. I mean, look
Just-
at these bruises. That's Brendan. That's Brendan just giving me a friendly little squeeze.
He tends to do that.
I did shake his hand earlier, and Brendan's got a grip. Yeah, it's good. Good, strong grip.
Come on, this is like a military cop town. I shook hands with guys all day today. It's like sticking your hand in a bucket of channel lock pliers. Good to meet you, sir. Yes. Thank you for the challenge coin. Ow.
Now, as people who have answered the mummy questions for a long time, lots of mummy questions, I'm sure this weekend, I'd love to ask, what's one question about the mummy that you get asked so much that you secretly hope nobody ever asks it again?
When are you going to make another one?
They don't have to ask anymore. High five. Yeah. That was directed to you. Brendan didn't see it. He left me hanging, but I was.
I picked it up.
Yeah.
How long?
September, that's the answer. So get off my back already. Next.
How long did the body paint take?
Oh, yeah.
How long did the tattoos take?
How bad is a camel's breath?
That's actually a really good question, and I want to know the answer to that one.
I think Brendan's got the definitive answer to the camel question.
God, did you know that you can ride a camel at full throttle and that thing can turn around and look right at you while it's galloping? And then this giant, like, pink throat bag will morph over the side of its head and slime will come off it and it'll go "Whack" at you. I can attest that camel veterinarian dentistry is not a priority in North Africa. And those are the nice ones.
Now, there have been so many versions of the mummy over the years. At what point did you guys realize that your version was the one that fans were gravitating towards the most?
When we made the second one.
Gotcha. Yeah, so about a year later.
Yeah, it's kind of like next year at college. Let's all room together next semester. And, you know, like 18 months later, there we were. Back in the saddle with the camel and the throat bag.
Now, Brendan, I wanted to know, what's a stunt that you did as Rick O'Connell in the original Mummy film that you know now, 25 plus years later, there's no chance in hell you're going to do that stunt in
I
part
don't know if
4?
all this is a stunt, but there's this long staircase in the first Mummy. And Steven's like, look at the stunt man to double you on this. And I was like, no, I got this. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. Well, I managed to do it like twice without completely eating it, but it was running down a staircase. If you asked me to do that now, man, it would be a cheese grater. You wouldn't want to see that. Which is why we're gonna have awesome doubles in the next one. So we can take credit for their amazing work.
Oded, I wanted to say Ardeth walks into every scene like the coolest person alive. And there's this, it's true. There's this rumor though that he later changed his name and spent some brief time as a gigolo. Can you confirm?
Sorry, he changed his name to what?
Just that he changed his name.
I don't even know in the rest. That's what you're talking about. No, I don't. What? No, it's not true. By the way, coming into the room as the is it just me or you guys? Am I
I'm
too
having
old?
a hard time
you're
understanding, yes.
Okay, the way the sound is reverberating. It's driving me a little insane because.
But you guys hear it okay out there, right?
You guys can hear us okay? Okay.
Okay, good.
Well, how convenient for you.
The answer to the running into the room with the coolest, I just have an angry resting face, which is, most of the time I'm dying inside.
So humble. You're so humble. I really love it because it takes a lot of work to be effortlessly cool like that, doesn't it? I just messed up the word effortlessly in front of like a lot of people right there. So, see?
Listen, when I did do
John, oh wait, I'm sorry, John's gotta go. John's gotta go catch a flight. Everybody, John, please stand up. Bring John here. Thank you so much. Safe travels, John.
We'll miss him.
I'm gonna miss that Scotsman.
I know. So I was going to say, so with regards to the resting angry face, I was doing a movie in LA shortly after doing The Mummy, and our director was slightly shorter than me, and he's talking to me, and he's saying, I think we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and I'm like looking at him, and he goes, or not, we don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. I'm like, well, no, what? No, what? Of course I want to do it. He goes, I don't know, man, you just look so angry. I was literally just concentrating.
Also, I want to say, now that John's gone, we can say anything we want about him, just so you
Thank
know.
God, right? He is just
He's
such
still in the
a...
building, though.
He's what?
He's still in the building.
He's such a... Oh,
You hear that he owes me $50?
Now, Patricia, the fight scene between you and Rachel in The Mummy Returns is one of the most... It's the coolest fight scene in the entire franchise. I wanted to say, what do you remember about shooting that, and did either of you ever accidentally land a shot?
Which way?
Accidentally what? Did either of what was the last part of the question?
Did either of you ever accidentally land a shot? Like, what do you remember about filming that scene specifically?
Well, in relationship to what you were asking before, and if we were asked to do that now, originally, we were not supposed to do the fights ourselves. That's why we're wearing masks. But Rachel and I got so into it. We were training sometimes 7 hours a day for weeks, and we became very competitive.
Like scary competitive.
So that's why Steven says, at least let's show their faces. If I was to be asked that question today about doing the fight scene, it's like, okay, yeah, let the doubles do the fights. But one time, I think we might have punched each other a few times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a...
With the size, one time I got accidental stitches here.
Oh,
Yeah.
but did you...
We've all got chips in the paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you reach a certain age, right, and it's unavoidable. Now, Brendan, I want to say, Rachel Weisz set out, The Mummy 3, and I want to say, what was it about your original chemistry with Rachel that made her return essential for this next one.
Have you seen her?
Yeah. That's a great answer.
Okay, apart from the whole easy on the eyes thing, are you really impressed by talent? Skill, charm, intelligence, good sense of humor, good sport, tough as nails, funny as cheeky, and an actress who absolutely, I don't mean like stands her ground defiantly, but she stands up for what that character needs and wants. And I'm going to tell you something that just occurred to me, because when we were auditioning to get the part, I was hired already, and I came into Universal Studios for a meeting, and the casting director wanted to have a chemistry read, whatever. That was always really weird, chemistry. Anyway, that's when you put two actors together, point a camera at them, and see what they look like. So we did this, and we're reading the sides to each other, and the casting director is doing the casting director thing. We read the sides, and the casting director gives Rachel a note. We were reading a scene about getting treasure, about deciphering. I think it was a scene that didn't make it into the movie. And the casting director gave Rachel a note and said, "Can you make more out of what she really wants to have about getting the treasure?" And Rachel looked right back at her and said, "No, actually, she really doesn't want the treasure at all. She just wants to feel empowered. She just wants this guy to take her seriously."
So she just got it right away.
Yeah, and she was right, too.
Yeah.
And that was certainly, from what I saw, when we saw, that was the thrust of her whole character. She's going to do right by herself. She's going to upset the Bembridge Scholars Old Boys Club. And can I just say, how many, well, women in particular, over the last, 18 years, have you seen come through all the lines at the cons? I've lost count already today and yesterday. It's probably at least 8 or 9. People come through and said, "Brennan, I became an Egyptologist. I became an archaeologist. I became a historian. I became a librarian because of this movie." I'm serious. It's not a coincidence. She's inspired a whole generation of deep thinkers.
Well, I think I speak for everybody when I say we're all excited that Rachel's coming back, aren't we? Now, I asked this to John before you guys came on stage, but I'd love to get your answer as well. But there's so many people here excited to meet you guys, and I'd love to know who's somebody at some point in your career that you were around and got to meet and felt the most starstruck by.
Well, for me, it doesn't have to go that far. When the way I got casted for this film, I went to meet the casting director, Joanna Colbert, at Universal. And then a few hours later, I hear I'm going to London the day after to shoot this film called The Mummy with Brendan Fraser attached. And I walk, I land in London, and here I go to the studios, and he's right in the middle. That was definitely, I was so starstruck up until today, still. Yeah. True. Viva. Viva Venezuela. Viva Venezuela, sí.
Yeah, I think, I don't really get starstruck so much because the good thing about me is that I don't have a facial recognition. So most of the time I'm like, "Oh, hey, I know you from somewhere." And then only afterwards I realize, "Oh, I know you."
Even if you are starstruck, they'll never know because of the resting angry face.
Yeah, because of the resting angry face. But the thing about it is they always tell you never meet your heroes because sometimes it's very disappointing. And I'll kiss ass a little bit here, but this guy is just such a gem.
Very disappointing.
I mean, disappointing.
You do know I'm sitting right next to you, right?
No, so you're very, very lucky. I mean, I feel just so blessed. The Mummy was practically my first job, and then to get to work with these people who I love dearly still today, and I just, we're all very excited to get back together, so. And it's been, for us, getting the opportunity to do this together, it's been such a treat, I gotta tell you. They're all as fabulous as they seem.
And the most beautiful thing is that this really just happened because of you. Because you have loved the film. I mean, we were blessed enough to be put in a room and give it our all, but when you have someone in the center that is giving their all, leading, then we all want to do the best. But it's really you who have watched the film, showed it to your children, and then the grandchildren, and and still stands today. And maybe that's why
we're not that old, the grandchildren. No, you didn't need to do that. My gosh.
I met some grandchildren, and that's okay.
No, but it's true. I mean, I watched it when it originally came out, and I've since shared the entire trilogy with my son, and we love that. We love the movie so much, all of them, and so we're all so excited to be here with you guys, and can't thank you enough. So thank you very much. It really means a lot to us. Brendan, you can't get out of the starstruck question though. You got to tell us your answer.
I grew up in the 80s, the films that I watched in the 80s where it was Indiana Jones. Yeah, it was Spielberg pictures. That was the platinum standard. I was a huge fan, like everybody else. Fast forward years, and I find myself in, again, a meeting, a casting room, with Harrison Ford. And I'm doing my damnedest not to lose my shit. Because Harrison Ford. But you know what? You should meet your heroes, because he's just a solid, regular guy. And I didn't have to contend with that starstruckedness that you get around super famous people sometimes at all. Because he's a gentleman, and he put the needs of others ahead of whatever he wanted from moment to moment. And he's a regular guy.
Who else does that, though?
Can I tell you my Harrison Ford story?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm gonna digress super really quick. So, anyway, oh my God, I'm getting a fanboy here. The guy who just told that whole thing about the humble thing, that's all bullshit. Listen. So I'm doing this movie, I'm in Portland, right? And Harrison Ford's in it, and I'm gonna be playing his partner. And we're making a movie, and it's fun. And phone rings, Saturday morning. Brendan, yeah. How fast can you get to the airport? I guess I could get in a cab right now. Good. So I get in a cab. Phone rings in the cab. Brendan, where are you? I'm in the taxi, Harrison. I'll be at the airport in probably 14 minutes. Let me know when you land. Get to the FBO, get to the airport. There he is. He's like, we're going for a fly. He took me up in his plane. He put me in the co-pilot seat. He gave me the stick. I'm Chewbacca, bitch. How's your day going? Okay, I'm done.
Now, I can't top that, but can I tell you my Harrison Ford story real quick? Okay, so here it was. I was interviewing him on a red carpet, and my son was with me, and my son is taller than I am because I'm deceptively old. And as I was talking and finishing the interview, I pointed at my son and I said, "That's my son. He's a huge fan. If you could just wave at him real quick, it'd make his day." And so he does. He waves at him. He leans over to me and he goes, "That's your son?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "He didn't look anything like you." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I punch above my weight. Thanks." And he goes, and walks away. That's the guy. He's great. He's the best.
One more? No.
Yeah.
So we're shooting this scene. And it's a 50-50. It's two people sitting at a table talking to each other in a bar. And we're talking about, scientific stuff. It's really important. And yeah, it's just two people talking to each other across the table. And I got handed these lines that morning that cleared legal because I'm naming a foundation. And it turned out what was written in the script was the name of some foundation. And it really didn't pass muster with, but the name was taken, something already. So they wrote a new name of a fictitious foundation. And they gave me the name of it at the last second. And it turned out to be a really wicked tongue twister. So I'm really bad at learning lines anyway. And every time I come to say the name of this new foundation, I'm fucking it up. I'm like, it's the Smirkin' Plurkin' Flirker. And this is going on and on. And I can see Harrison's like really fuming at me. And I'm like, I'm sweating bullets. And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I can't get these." Like, "Yes, you can. Fuck with. There's money at stake." Reaches over, tears off a piece of gaffer's tape, grabs sides, gets a Sharpie, block prints the name of the foundation, takes the tape, puts it on the paper, smacks the paper on his forehead. I read the name of the Smorkin' Borkin Foundation. And he goes, "Great, now we can go to lunch."
That's the guy.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
All right, well, before we get out of here, we're going to play a quick game called Mummy Superlatives. So I'm going to throw out a question about who on the cast is the most likely to do something, and you have to answer honestly, but also you can throw John under the bus since he's gone.
It's all Jonathan. We can throw Jonathan under the bus because he's gone, yeah.
So this first superlative, most likely to accidentally trigger a curse touching something that they shouldn't.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Jonathan, totally. No, I didn't do it. It's for me. I'll go put it right back.
Who on the cast took longest to get ready?
Me.
The body paint.
The body paint. That was a busy set day.
Very busy.
Yeah, there was a lot of foot traffic.
Who would break character the most?
Jonathan.
You think? Brendan, maybe. No? No?
Well, they weren't there. They don't know. What do you say, tiebreaker?
No, I think Jonathan. I think John's job, as he explains it, is do something funny and maybe you'll get a close up. So John spent a lot of time doing funny things.
My finger. I don't want to. My finger.
Just nonstop, So yeah.
Well, who would complain the most about the heat?
Well,
Not
what's
me.
the sense of complaint? Yeah, not that he's ready to go.
Not
no,
me.
Yeah, he's fine with it. I'm like hiding under my camera.
Jonathan?
It's bloody hot. Yeah. That was a very bad Scottish accent, and I apologize right away if I insulted anybody. I'm sorry.
Who on the cast is so nice that they wouldn't even kill a flesh-eating beetle?
I can tell you who's the first to kill a flesh-eating beetle without any fear is Arnold. Arnold would just, he doesn't care. Scorpion.
We had a weekend off once, and he got some firewood. We're gonna have a bonfire, and he camped out next to it because he had a couple of days off, and so he like bargained with the locals for a donkey cart full of firewood, built a pit, had a staff. Remember that? And he spent like, the better half of that following morning like killing scorpions with his bare hands. So we'd be safe, we came that night. He was very thoughtful, mummy.
And when we shot, I think it was one of the first films ever shot in Erfurt, down south Morocco. So, it was basically a little town that they got it ready for the mummy. There were a lot of bugs.
There were a lot of bugs, and there were windows that wouldn't fit inside their frame. So when the windstorm was blowing, when the sandstorm was blowing, it was like blowing inside the room.
Yeah, it was. The
No,
sandstorm.
but Arnold, I remember when we were in Marrakesh and we stayed in a pretty nice hotel in Marrakesh, and Arnold at some point was like, "Oh, I'm done with this sleeping up on the third floor. No, I'm sleeping by the pool. I'm done. I'm done with it." Again, sorry for the South African accent. It was terrible. I apologize.
Yeah, he took his very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got two more. Who would be the worst person to ride a camel with?
Benny.
And so he's not wrong. That's funny. This is live. We can hear you. If you were all locked inside Hamunaptra, who would most likely solve the puzzle that would get everybody out?
Rachel.
Rachel.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Rachel for sure.
There you go. Give it up for Rachel. This is awesome. I'm having the time of my life up here. Sorry, I'm geeking out right now. I'm having a moment. We do have a couple of fan questions to get to that have been sent in, so we'll go ahead and get started on some of that. We have one from Emily. She wants to know which desert or tomb set tested your teamwork the most.
Well, there's some very early mornings to catch beauty shots, when the sun's come out. There was a couple of days in these, they called them the salt flats, when we were on horses and camels and donkeys and stuff. That was, that was hard work. It was hard work just getting to work, if I remember it, in the mornings,
If I remember correctly, the mummy face coming out of the sand, I remember when you shot that was specifically a hard one for you, running around.
I wasn't expecting that. They had some kind of device under the sand to whoosh, and they showed me the stunt. The special effects guys had buried a contraption under the sand, some kind of hydraulic thing, and they'd flip a switch and whoosh, it would push the sand up, and I'd jump out of the way. But what you see in the movie is like the very first take, because whatever the contraption was under the sand went like right next to my boot, like right, kind of clip my boot so you can actually see the sand going smack and like take my legs out from underneath me. Yeah, that was awkward, but you only gotta get it right once, so yeah, that's tricky.
Is that the thing that you're least looking forward to in the new one, is how much sand you're gonna have to clean out?
Man, I got everywhere. I had a Pelican case of cameras that I dragged there and back, and for years later, I was like, still dusting off all the lenses. There's still the sands of the mummy in Erfurt, in all my gear. Yeah.
Sometimes we used to sit on our trailers for hours because of the sandstorms. And we'd just be sitting there waiting.
Yeah, and then come back and see, did anything fall down? Oh, not that much. There was a helicopter in case things got really bad. Do you remember that? Our producer, Jim Jacks, late great Jim Jacks, this guy could talk for Team America, seriously. Like you could put the phone down, go polish your car, come back, and still be, you know. Part of the brain trust, really, like almanac's knowledge of cinema. We're at dinner one night, and he said, I got life insurance policies on all of you. We're like, what? Yeah, you got $1 million life insurance policies on all of you. We're like, you were going to tell us this? Kevin J. O'Connor goes, I just want to ask, how much did you get on me? Like 50 grand.
Do you remember the time we got evacuated with the helicopters, with the Moroccan army helicopters or whatever that was? That was. They're like, there's a storm coming and the set might be flooded. We need to evacuate you guys. And we got this helicopter here, and you're like, oh, helicopter, yes, I've flown helicopters. With that, it looked like something from the 1950s. It rattled. You were like, I hope we're gonna make.
I think they wound up evacuating a stunt guy that did his leg up really good, and somehow I think that's what they wound up using it for. But you know, it still looked cool. We felt like we were being dangerous.
Yeah, nothing like a rattling helicopter to make you feel dangerous.
Yeah, try to get it in the helicopter now and see if you get it.
Well, one question I've got from Liam here is, what prop from the films did you keep, and is there a prop that you wish you had kept?
Jonathan has them all in his garden. For real.
If anything's missing, it's in John Hannah's garden. I took a lot of pictures. That's the only thing I kept.
What about you, Oded?
I was very lucky. I got to keep my sword. I use it. It's amazing for making s'mores. It's perfect length, and I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, if I would have kept my size, I would be using it for the same. I wish I would have kept them.
Yeah.
See,
I wish I had kept the butterfly knife, Rick's butterfly knife from the first one. Don't be too sad. Because the happy ending is when I got the script for the second one, Steven included a butterfly knife. I took it as a vote of confidence.
Noah wants to know, what's a scene that was a lot tougher than it looks on screen to film?
It's always the easy ones that turn out to be hard, right? Yeah. Like when I got a light morning, I'm just gonna walk here and over here. Like, oh no, anything that can go wrong normally does on those kinds of days. Look, we worked hard. We all did all the fight training, so you wouldn't get injured too much. And safety was always really important. I should tell you the homage to Ray Harryhausen at the end of the Sinbad in the Seven Help. The skeleton fight, Harryhausen movies. Y'all, I'm seeing heads nodding, okay? That was a huge inspiration to Steven Sommers to do the battle at the end over the canopic jars, the Rachel on the... And I learned the choreography in the parking lot with all the guys, and we went to the set, and there was this massive piece of gear that was a motion capture camera, and it was the size of a refrigerator. Now we can do this stuff on your phone, and it was programmed to move in a robotic way in a shot that was, planned out months in advance by industrial light magic. And there were all the stunt doubles of the mummies themselves surrounding her. And these guys are all wearing booger suits. Sorry, the green, they're wearing unitards. I was like, oh man, I thought that we were gonna, I thought I would just I didn't know I was going to be fighting with guys. Like there, I thought I'm going to be Marceauing it, you know, pantomiming. That's what I anticipated. They're like, no, you're going to fight with the guys. I'm like, but I don't need them. And I'm like, because you can't swing the blade through a real actor in a booger suit, because, you know, it ruins their day and stuff. So they had him go out and step out, and I'm proud to say that was really hard work, but I learned the choreography, and there was no one in the room. So I was fighting invisible mummies, and then they were put in later, and I was very proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
Because that exact kind of behavior that used to get me sent to the principal's office was the one that was paying my bills, Sister Shirley.
Yeah, I gotta say, a scene that I remember, it was interesting, the fighting in the bus scene. I was thinking to myself, all right, well, they're gonna have the stunt guys, you know, like we did in the desert, and I'm gonna be fighting stunt guys in blue suits or whatever. And I get to set, and for me, there was nobody there. They're like, yeah, so just fight mummies and we'll put them in. Yeah, just fight them, just go ahead. So I literally just threw myself all over the bus, and they're like, oh, ouch. Do you want some, under the, no, I'm good, I'm fine. Just throwing myself. I was black and blue by the end of it. But it was amazing because then they add all the guys in there. Did you have somebody to work with when you did the bus?
It's funny you say that, because I think when the Mummy movies were made, this sort of threshold was passed through that became a collaborative process with the actors and the CGI directors. Remember, because all the shots are so planned in advance, and they're all mapped out, and there's rules what you can do, can't do. Like, you can't put your hand in front of another face because the picture plane will get messed up, and then it's bottom line, no, $20,000 if you do this, $13,000 if you do. Seriously. And so by the time the second movie came around, there was a little bit more leeway with that. Like, we could kind of, in a way, improvise stuff, and then the CGI magicians would go, oh, good, I like that. You know what, I was screwing around on the first take, and I thought I'll just get it out of my system. On the bus scene, when I think the mummy rushes at Rick, and then I watched a lot of Three Stooges as a kid. And so I poked him in the eyes. And I don't know, my brain, inside voice, outside voice, I thought that'd be kind of gross. So I went, because I was screwing around. It was the first take, and I hear everybody at the monitor going, what do you do? Can we do that? No, really, I think we can actually. No, it'd be cool if you just, have him do it again, No, I think we can do it because then, we'll just have him do it again. It'll be awesome. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm so busted. But sure enough, it was like we were able to inspire the way the CGI artists did their job by what they observed in what we were giving them. So there was this, sort of friendly collaboration that went on with, a channel that was missing in the middle. We were communicating with one another in a way that, we take for granted now. Granted, with special effects imagery, wherein anything you can imagine is possible, but still in its nascency. This is what made these movies so popular, because everybody believed what they saw. And the only reason that I believe that everyone believed what they saw is because the actors believed in what they were doing. As long as the actors are believing in what they're doing, and the audience will. Because believe me, you can't kid a kid.
Yeah, you can't fake it, for sure.
Nope.
Also, I'll tell you one thing that I believe is that I want to see that scene that Oded's talking about, because I want to see what it looks like with you throwing around in the bus without any, I almost said zombies, mummies there.
Yeah, I don't remember if we have that in the blooper reel or not, the thing, but it was ridiculous. They'd come over and they go like, think about, you got a guy coming this way, a guy coming. It was just, more of that. Oh, love that. Can you go over the shit? Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking about CGI, what Brendan is saying, and also Oded. The scene where the mummy, when Imhotep is back and we kiss. Okay, I kissed a green apple.
I did not know that.
It was a green apple. And then, just like you were saying, where is his face? Yeah, there. Okay, cool. Okay, a little more. Okay, where's the mouth? Okay, and they were kissing this green apple, and that's the kiss that you
So
see.
that's what. So now I understand because for the
This
most
is
time
how it's done, folks.
I heard the crew was so jealous of an apple. I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. That's what it was.
That's all it was. That apple was good.
Patricia, I gotta ask you. So in the second one, when it's an Anck-Su-Namun.
Yeah.
When she gets hers at the very end, she falls into the pit of doom, death beyond the afterlife.
Yeah.
And oh no, she's struggling, and you kind of feel for her. That, she's
Yeah.
a bad guy, but you kind of like her. But she's like, and you're disappearing, and you get sucked into like the netherworld, like Imhotep did too. And what were you doing? Were you like just falling back onto a crash mat?
I was, and there were some bugs.
And they poured some shit on you, and
There were some few plastic bugs.
But you really have to
strawberry bugs.
sell it.
We have to sell it. Just more of that.
How did you feel doing that? Like, I'm committed?
I'm committed. I'm committed to go to the
Let me tell
afterlife.
you, I watched Arnold do his version of that shot. He was not committed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because he was devastated.
I would say, I believe we peaked on the green apple. We have to get out of here, but thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
for being here. This is amazing. Before we go, can we commemorate this moment by standing up and getting a picture with the entire crowd? Can we do that?
Thank you. I wanted to say thank you for the sign language. Thank you so much, guys.
Can we get where's the photographer at? We got a photographer over here?
We'll wait.
Hold on, we're gonna get somebody real quick. We got.